Before we break down the possibility of signing Shaq Leonard and some Cowboys injury news, we are losing the sub battle this month against the Eagles. And yeah, they've played the extra half game this week, whatever. Doesn't matter. I don't want to give the Eagles any more luck. Let's get going. Let's catch up to Philadelphia and make sure we do not lose the sub battle this month. When you sub, you get free Cowboys videos multiple times per day. So don't miss out. Hit that sub button right now. The Colts have cut Shaq Leonard, a bit of a surprise move, given that it's just a couple years removed from a massive contract extension. Although, as we'll get into, there are some very real on-field reasons for this. He had been waived following the 5-year, $98.5 million deal he got back in 2021. He was only playing 70% of the snaps this year in Indy. He's due $6.11 remaining on his deal for this season, a pretty significant amount of money due to Leonard. The Cowboys have really not had the best play at linebacker this season, so it is understandable to see him linked so quickly to Dallas. After all, this is a household name. This is the name you go, oh, Leonard, he got cut. Well, that's a good player. Former NFL Defensive Rookie of the Year, a 3-time first-team All-Pro, 3-time voted into the Pro Bowl as well. This is a big-time player, or at least he was a big-time player. And Dallas has lost several players to injury this past season. Damone Clark, Marquise Bell, both are their starters right now. Tyrus Wheat and Rashaan Evans are on the active roster at linebacker. There's no DeMarvion Overshown. There's no Leighton Vander Esch. The need at linebacker has been there. First thing we have to vet is the money side. And this is a problem, and it's a big reason why no one traded for him at the deadline, whatever. Leonard's due $6.11 million over the course of this. That's left almost $1 million per game over the final 7 games of this season. He's then due $16.1 million next year, only 6.4 of which is injury guaranteed. There are big cap hits in 2025, 2026. Those are not guaranteed if the Cowboys were to claim Shaq Leonard. So it's not about the future cap hits. It's the fact that he's due over $6 million for 7 games worth of play in the remainder of the 2023 season. Because of that significant contract, coupled with the unfortunate reality that Leonard is not the guy you remember at his peak, I do not anticipate Leonard getting claimed off of waivers. Now, I think he'll get to you. Dallas has the money to claim him if they want to. I would be shocked if they didn't be shocked if anyone claimed him, frankly. But that means he would get to pick his next NFL home. And that still leaves Dallas as a possibility to land Leonard. Probably not this week, maybe later, but we shall see. So would you sign Shaq Leonard? Y for yes, N for no, knowing probably be pretty cheap. Although, does Leonard want to come to Dallas? We'll break it all down. If this is today's pinned comment, I'm sure we'll get plenty of responses. Y for yes, N for no in the comments section. Shaq Leonard does not think his play has fallen off. Here's what he had said before he got cut by Indy. I think I'm very similar to what I've seen on tape maybe 2 years ago. But it's just different this year. Either I'm hammering the ball back to Zaire Franklin or spilling it into the safety. I'm not as free as I once was in the defense before. And that part might at least be partially true, but Leonard is not the same guy he was in his prime. It's just not the case. The film is not lying from that perspective whatsoever. The play has regressed from Leonard. His peak seasons, his first 4 years in Indy were incredible. I mean, we're talking about just stat sheets galore, TFLs, sacks, pass breakups, forced fumbles, interceptions. The guy had 8 forced fumbles in 2021. Splash plays everywhere. The Colts accuse Leonard of not having splash plays anymore. And that's true. He doesn't have any. He's got 2 tackles for loss this year. 65 tackles. Not a bad number. But, man, some of these games have been rough. There have been flashes of some good run defense still. If you guys can just literally pull up Ezekiel Elliott highlights against the Colts. And Leonard's just washed out. He's getting pushed 8 yards back, taking a terrible angle on a Zeke screen that Zeke caught it and turned, and Leonard just flew right by him. He just wasn't even trying to make that. It was insane. Leonard is not the same guy. His missed tackle rate is up significantly, 7.1%, which is at least 2% more than the previous 3 years. By the way, I'll make note, I took out the 2022 campaign. He played 3 games. He had back surgery that year, and that's a big reason why his play has declined. He does not move the same way he did back at his absolute best. A career-high missed tackle rate already. Don't believe my numbers, the metric, my eyeballs. You can use PFF as another data point here. His grades have plummeted. 60.3 is substantially lower than anything else the Colts have had, or I should say seen, from Shaq Leonard this season. To put that in perspective here briefly, your other linebacker grades this year. Damone Clark's at 70.5. Marquise Bell's at 84.5. Everyone claims Van Der Esch is terrible. He was still at 65.5 before getting hurt there. Rashaan Evans is at 58.8. In a small sample size, that could be your upgrade area. More still to come on Shaq Leonard, but first, a word about today's sponsor, Factor. They are America's #1 ready-to-eat meal delivery service. With Factor, you can fuel up fast for breakfast, lunch, and dinner with chef-prepared, dietitian-approved, ready-to-eat meals delivered straight to your door. You'll save time, eat well, and stay on track with your healthy lifestyle while tackling all your holiday to-dos. I have a 2-year-old at home. We've got Thanksgiving and Christmas, and there's just a lot of time that now goes to her and other things that used to be able to go to prepping, cooking, and cleaning. We're going to cook for Thanksgiving, or at least the Saturday after, since we'll be live for that game. So I don't want to cook throughout the week. That's why I like Factor. Just makes my life a little bit easier, saves the grocery store trip. It's just simple. And I'm eating well without the hassle. Head to factormeals.com/CowboysChat50 and use code CowboysChat50 to get 50% off. That's code CowboysChat50 at factormeals.com/CowboysChat50 to get 50% off. The big issue I have with, I'm down to add Leonard, vet minimum, sure, that I have no complaints. You can cut Tyrus Sweet, bada bing, bada boom, there you go. I would wonder if this is the destination Leonard wants. Leonard is clearly upset about his role. He's made public comments about that. He's played 15.6% of the Colts' third down snaps when healthy. And no third down play he was out there for has been longer than 2 yards since week 6. They have no faith in him whatsoever in third downs in coverage. It's Gus Bradley as their DC, by the way. Marquise Bell's best attribute is coverage. So his role, I think, would be very similar to what it was in Indy. And on the vet minimum, that's a fine role. I don't know if that's what Leonard wants, because his comments have been very pointed on his lack of playing time. Quote, "My patience has kind of been thrown out the window. I want to be on the field. If I want to buy a ticket, I can sit in the stands." He was mad he wasn't playing. I don't know if Shaq Leonard's going to play over Damone Clark on third downs, and certainly not Marquise Bell on third downs. Plus, the Cowboys love their multi-safety looks. So if he wants to sign a vet 1-year deal, boom, I am in. Let's do it. I'll cut Tyrus Sweet. I'll make him my #3 linebacker. I'll make Evans play special teams. I'll figure that stuff out there since Leonard's not going to do it. Hasn't done it in 2 years. I am in. But it takes 2 to tango. And if Leonard wants to rehab his stock and play, I don't know if that's going to happen in Dallas any more than it was in Indy, because he's not good enough in coverage right now. Maybe Dan Quinn can fix him, but I don't know if they take that approach at this stage. So what is the percent chance the Cowboys end up getting Shaq Leonard? Sound off for me in the comments section right now. Updated Cowboys injury report. 2 new names on here, although nothing worth panicking about. Rico Dowdle and Jaron Kearse, again, did not participate. More on those 2 in a little bit. The Cowboys are following the Tyron Smith DNP rest strategy, so good news on that front, frankly. Michael Gallup missed practice today with a personal issue. I have no details or personal reason, I should say. It might not even be an issue. Been a couple of Cowboys players who have missed practice due to birth of their kid or whatever. So maybe it'd be a fun reason for that. So don't know what it is. Not going to speculate. Jaron Kearse, again, did not go. Terrence Steele, CeeDee Lamb upgraded to full. Good news there. Osa Odigizua, Kevontae Turpin remain full participants as well. More thoughts on each of these individual guys, and we'll get their designations, I believe, tomorrow. We'll have a video on that for you guys. Sub so you don't miss out. YouTube.com/@CowboysTV. Speaking with the Lamb side of it, he was a full participant at practice. I told you guys not to worry. He'd been a bit banged up. He was a bit banged up against the Panthers if you saw him kind of, even after the game, walking very slowly, just kind of like almost annoyed and just kind of like, I'm just a little sore right now. He said, quote, "I'm straight. I'll be out there. Nothing to be worried about on that front." Jaron Kearse, however, might not be able to go. He has missed 2 straight days now with his back injury. I haven't heard any real details beyond that. Hopefully it's minor. On a short week, might not be able to have Kearse out there, which means might get to see some Wanye Thomas for this Cowboys team. So will Jaron Kearse play against the Commanders? P for he's going to play, S for he will sit. Sound off in the comments right now. Also a bit murky about the Rico Dowdle status. He played to the ankle injury last week, but I think tomorrow he at least has to be limited in what's going to be basically a walkthrough day, projected even participation there, to be able to go. If he doesn't practice at all throughout the week, tough to see him going. He gutted through it. I think it's kind of nagging at him. You've got the tough schedule here with 3 games in 12 days. Got to be cautious with Dowdle because you need him down the stretch. Meanwhile, Terrence Steele, a full participant. He will be good to go against the Commanders. Nothing to be too worried about on that front. Steele will be good to go at right tackle for Dallas against the Commanders team that does not have great edge rushers anymore.